to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo, and I am back in the basement, the flooded out basement. But it's very good to be back talking to you all about football. I realized I was out last night for a couple of beers and a couple of games of pool, and somebody mentioned something about a random football team, and I just went off. And I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't talked in a while about football. I can't wait for happy hour. So get ready for it tonight. I'm going to be a bit more verbose than I usually am, which is usually a lot. And so I'm sitting here in the dark room. Yes, I missed a couple of happy hours. I was in London for a week. I went to the North London Derby. We'll talk all about that. That was amazing. I stayed out in Islington. It was fantastic. Reminded me a lot of being in parts of Brooklyn, Queens. Like, I felt right at home. I knew exactly. I knew the situation. I knew everything. It felt very normal to me. But last Friday we were gonna do happy hour. It was my birthday last Friday, and then we got a torrential downpour, and the entire block over here in Brooklyn flooded. Every single one of my neighbors got water in their basement. We got like 6 inches or so. And for the metric system, that's like 4 meters. I don't know. I don't do metric, but no, about 6 inches of water flooded the whole basement out. I've been every single one of my days off has been spent cleaning that. Finally got a lot of that dried up, and I feel like I can sit down here without dying, possibly. So fingers crossed on that. But big up to you all. Happy Friday. Premier League in action last weekend, this weekend, right before the international break. So cheers to y'all. Today I'm drinking that IPA. I don't know which one, that one. So I just want to say what's up to all the Stoop crew members who are already showing up. Big Anders, member for 29 months. Beat that. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Scooby D2 is in here. I saw this Scooby. I'm gonna go through my email. Sorry, I've been crazy busy, and maybe it popped up and I missed it. It usually emails me. I'll fix that right away and get you in that group, and we will be more active on the website. Director John is still in Romania. So I think it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something over there. So unfortunately, Director John isn't there to cheers me, but we got some people rocking. Good to see you, Ping Cushion, as well. John Luft, Garside, hi all, MOT. Very good to see you marching on together. Yes, sir. Evan, the Macronicle. Hey, I said it right on the first go. Hopefully you didn't lose too much because of the floods. It's hard to tell at this point, but at least all my camera gear and stuff like that is in cases. So anything that got wet, Pelican brand cases, they're worth the money. Thank you very much. Today's show is sponsored by Pelican cases and that IPA. I wish. Bandy Fornoski, very good to see you. Sorry I didn't get to see you while I was out in London. Bit of a crazy hectic schedule there, but very good to see everybody. I'm ready to talk football. I'm ready to get my lovely co-host on the screen with me. Let's get him in here, Mr. Spawny Mark. What up?
There you are. Cheers, babe.
Cheers to you. Not to break the fourth wall or anything, but I did see you pounding the rest of your other beer before. You're like, I'm coming on camera. I need to crack one. Let me bust this one out.
It's
David,
actually
good to see you as well.
I'm in honor of happy hour. I've got the golden hour.
The golden hour,
beer.
Nice.
That is
nice,
both light. I don't know if you can see it. Both light and crushable.
Nice.
Thank you, Keg and Lantern. This portion of the show brought to you by Keg and Lantern, the one to have when you're having more than one.
No, it is not. Keg and Lantern messes me up, man. It's strong. At least the ones I drink are super strong.
This is actually not too strong, as it comes in at an even 5, not 4 meters, which would be roughly about 13 feet, which means it's about twice as tall as you. Very sorry to hear that your basement flooded. Fortunately, I live a little higher up in the elevation
Yeah.
And it was just wet. I mean, I have not seen I've not seen rain like that in a really long time that wasn't attached to 75, 80 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, like a tropical storm.
Much like Sandy or Ida a few years back.
All them
But
greats.
it's all been very good. What's up, Andy? Good to see that you're on here. It's good to be back. It's been a few weeks, as Lolo had said, and I missed each and every one of you, including this guy over here. Virtually,
Moi?
I'm giving you moi. Yes, virtually, I'm giving you a great big kiss.
Oh.
Because I fucking love you, man.
Let's do it.
Oh,
well, let's
my
talk football, Mark.
Let's talk football because it's been a while. I gotta say, you were at the bar last night. I was at the bar the night before, and I saw a guy wearing a Luton shirt. And I walked up to him and I said, "Oi, you're a Luton boy, are you?" And he says, "Yeah, born and raised." And so immediately, what do I go into? Do you think that was the proper decision as far as the handball that was the penalty that was awarded to Luton against Wolves? And he had no comment whatsoever. So I think that's taking the
smart man.
Come on, take them points and run.
Come on, take your points and run. Well, I hope Luton does some business tomorrow because I have had just about enough of every single Tottenham fan out there. I'm sure there's some out there who are realistic, but the loudest voices on social media and punditry that are talking about Tottenham are all about how they demolished Liverpool, how they outplayed Liverpool the entire match. And I mean, come on. They had 9 men for like 20 minutes. And it took an own goal at the end in 96 minutes or something like that to get the winner, and a goal that was called offside that was not offside. When they had 10 men, and it was 0-0. So that would have been 1-0. Sit back.
Certainly, all things. But so I gotta say that in this particular situation, VAR going against Liverpool. And I get it. It's a big error on the part of VAR and on the part of the officials. We all saw it. We all didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I knew he was on before it went to video, before it went to VAR. But I'm very sorry, Liverpool. Your complaints will find no purchase with me because if y'all remember carefully last year in the FA Cup, we had a go-ahead goal go against that VAR scrubbed off. And look, you guys got, we're so sorry, human error, Liverpool. We're sorry that we fucked that up because we fucked it up. You know what Wolves got? Was, the VAR camera just wasn't in the right position. So, yeah, he was offside.
Yeah, it was offside.
So I'm sorry, Liverpool. No complaint. Nothing you want to say, Klopp. You got nothing to say. You say you've never seen anything like that in your life. No, you have seen something. What you haven't seen is it go against you because apparently they didn't see the badge.
They didn't see the badge.
You say it was the worst call of all time. I call it Saturday.
Now, Mark, in the chats, in the WhatsApp group that we're on, you're constantly on me and Kantak and Lawler anytime we say anything as Arsenal fans about a decision going against us, about Xhaka. We're always bringing up Xhaka. If that was Xhaka, it's a red. If that's Xhaka, that's a red. And you are constantly saying, you guys don't get to say anything. Watch a Wolves match. And I remember that was a while back, and I watched the next Wolves match, and it was comical. The calls that you guys don't get, that Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, even Tottenham, that we get, and Chelsea, that we get these calls. And I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's if it's like they know that our fans are going to destroy them, and your fans, you don't have a big enough, loud enough mouthpiece to destroy them. I don't know what it is, but I feel like they're pressured into giving those clubs those calls. And I watched Wolves play, and I'm just like, that, I'm sorry, like we complain about that, and that's a penalty, or that's not a penalty, or that should be a yellow, that shouldn't be a yellow, things like that, where you've got an excellent point, Mark.
Yeah.
Where, as aggrieved as Klopp needs to be,
I can give
can't
5
say this shit doesn't
minimum.
happen.
I could give 5 minimum, and this is why I think in this particular week, why I have been getting so verbal about, because look, I mean, we all bitch about the calls. We all do it. It's very natural to be upset against. But the thing is that me personally, I might bitch about it, and then I let it go. There's other play and other reasons why Wolves will lose a match. It's not because of a VAR decision, but in 5 separate cases in the last year, I can come up with something. And so right now, only because Klopp is being so verbal, more so than I think he's ever been, so verbal, almost to the point where he's demanding a replay. I mean,
suggesting. Okay, let's keep it. He's suggesting.
Okay, well, I mean,
not demanding. He's not demanding.
Okay, so when Klopp suggests, it's a demand. I mean, he's nearly demanding it. Because he has that pull. He's Jurgen Klopp. Just like he's Pep, he's Arteta, he's Unai Emery. I mean, these guys have pull within the organization, within the league, and beyond, within the world. I mean, these are some of the greatest managers in the world. And yes, I will include Arteta, even though he has not quite won much.
Potentially, I would even say he's on his way.
Potential. Look.
Could easily fall off.
If he was fired tomorrow, I would be on that Arteta to Wolves bandwagon. It would never happen. He's going to Spain. He's going to a much bigger club, and but no, that's a whole different happy hour altogether. I will say
fear. Hold on, quick side note, because you brought this shit up, and then you get back to that. My fear is we finish the season like 6th or something, 6th or below, and City win the treble, the quadruple, whatever. And Pep goes, all right, cool, I'm done, peace out. And they come for Arteta to step in for City.
I could see that scenario, but I see Arteta's next destination being Europe. He's somewhere in Spain. He's somewhere in Italy.
He's already done that. He's already done. Oh, Arteta. Yeah.
That's what Arteta. Yeah. Arteta could easily replace Luis Enrique at PSG. I think Enrique is still.
What a downgrade. What a
but they have way more money than the Kroenkes. But going back to what I was saying, it's just like where will it end if suddenly the Liverpool Tottenham match is replayed from minute whatever forward, because I don't think they replayed it, but just say they do. Let's just say they do, and it becomes this completely unprecedented thing. Well, then suddenly you have to replay United and Wolves. You have to replay Luton and Wolves. You have to replay all these, because they're all going to be there as well. What I think should happen on the minor side of things, what I think should happen is that It's like let the apologies mount up like yellow cards, and if a team gets like 5 apologies a season, they get a couple of points here and there or whatever. I don't really know. That's kind of silly, but think about it. I mean, what Klopp is hoping for, or he's hoping for some sort of resolve. What if, VAR decisions cost Wolves 3 points. Now I'm of the mindset we got those back when we beat City. We got those back when we beat City. But what if we get relegated this season and we get relegated by 1 point? That's way worse in my mind than Jurgen Klopp not making, or Liverpool not making top 4. That to me is way more harsh. That's beyond our control. That's on somebody else. That's on the refs, and we're being relegated because of their mistake. Liverpool doesn't have that risk, and they can still get into the top 4.
I know, but Mark, what if Liverpool looks very good this season, and they look to be only getting better? They are on an upward trajectory right now. What if City win the league over Liverpool by 1 point? It's happened before. Where they lost the league by 1 or 2 points, and there was an issue earlier that season. But it wasn't this egregious. That's the big problem with this. The reason you wouldn't replay all those matches that you mentioned is because handball, penalty, all of that has subjectivity to it. Offside does not. No matter what you say, if you say that's a red card every day of the week, that's a penalty every day of the week, that's a handball every day of the week, in the end, it's still up to the referee to decide yes or no. So that's why there is some subjectivity.
I'm going to disagree with you here, because I believe that anything where someone has to make a decision is subjective.
And offside is not.
Regardless of what
offside
you see.
Offside is not, though.
But obviously it is.
No, it's not. That was a communication error of the idiots. The linesman flagged him offside when everyone else in the fucking building saw him onside. So they thought in the VAR room that he was onside, and they said check complete because it's so clearly a goal. It's so clearly not offside. They said not offside. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's there. He's good. Check complete. And the referee goes, check complete. Okay. That means we're going with what was called on the field. And then they kicked it off. And then you hear the guys going, why did they just have a free kick? Why did they just have a free kick?
No.
Because the call on the field was this.
I saw the video as well.
Yeah.
And
but
look, I mean,
offside
we saw the game. We saw the game, and yes, okay. I guess I see your point. I personally think that every call is subjective. It comes down to, I think this, and therefore it's subjective. But
that's where offside in this with particular the lines, case,
but
there's no think.
Well, I mean,
that's what they're trying to get rid of.
So if that's the case, why do we get these late flags? Why do we always get a late flag when it comes to offsides?
Because they tell them, keep it down. If it's a close call, keep the flag down. So the linesman is no longer the be-all, end-all. Back in the day, it was subjective because it was the lineman's perception of the play of when the ball left the foot, where was he, and they call it, that's the call. Nowadays, no matter what the linesman does, it's only a suggestion. So they say, if you think he's offside, but you're not 100% sure, let the play go, and then when it ends, make your call for the placement of the ball. Because, if the ball goes out, it's a goal kick, but if it's offside, you get the ball from where it was offside. So he flags him, and so it's offside, so now they review it. But everyone in the booth was like, that's so clearly onside. We don't, it's fine. It's a good goal. Check complete.
I don't know. I don't quite know how to say this. We've been doing this show for how long now? We've been doing the show for 3 years.
Something like that.
How many conversations have we had about VAR and its inadequacies as far as how it is being interpreted, how it is being used? You know, we're talking about whether or not the match should be whether or not Liverpool Tottenham should be replayed.
Yeah.
What about the question of is it time to just either is it time to give up on VAR? It hasn't made the idea is that VAR was supposed to make the game better, and I don't think it has. Because
Mark,
VAR was
get rid of VAR. You do not get rid of VAR. You get rid of all those fucking referees because they don't have these problems every single week in all of the other leagues.
So you're going to get rid of experience. You're going to bring in a bunch of newbies that aren't going to be able to interpret the rules properly.
Mark, if I were,
because that's what happened with Wolves and Luton. That guy was brand new and he fucked up. So that doesn't solve.
If I own a car factory and I need somebody to come in and put the cars together, that's your job. Put the cars together, and you've got zero experience with that, and you've got 20 years experience shredding cars apart. You're in demolition, and you're like, I've got experience. Don't throw my experience away. And you're like, yeah, come over and build my cars. And immediately I'm like, here's a door. And you're like, don't need that. Like, that's what their experience is. Fucking shit. They've been terrible before VAR. They're terrible now. Is my audio okay? Because I feel like I'm yelling a bit
your
loud.
Audio is absolutely fantastic. Shall we expand our conversation?
We're about to bring in our guests. I just want to sort of get through this just a little bit because this is a big thing for me that Bandy's saying here. Longtime Stoop crew member right here in the house from London. Big Leeds United fan. If there was jeopardy for refs, there would be no mistakes. Now, Mark, here we go. We'll get to the replay later. Why don't the referees, as in the NFL, when they make that call, they say, okay, call is good. He comes on the microphone. No goal, offside. VAR checked, offside. He was offside. Or no goal or penalty. It was a handball. Clearly shown it was a handball. Something where they have to say something immediately and explain what they did. Or after the match, explain what they did. So some sort of, like Bandy said here, jeopardy, some sort of jeopardy for them where they have to own up to their decisions and explain their decisions a little bit after a match.
I wouldn't know. I want it during the match. I want them to feel the heat.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is already jeopardy because the PMOLG or whatever PGMOL is suspending refs. They are
LPGA.
removing
Can
them.
We just call it the LPGA?
Whatever the fuck
women's golf league.
I have no idea. Acronym blah blah blah.
Acronym Stanley.
Acronym Stanley. That forevermore. Acronym Stanley. They're already suspending refs. They're already removing them from if I'm guessing that referees in the Premier League, and I could be wrong, but I'm guessing they're paid by the game. So if they are taken out of the week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, they're losing a significant amount of income. You know, and it's not like a referee has like a Nike endorsement.
Yeah, they don't make crazy amounts of money either. They make a good living, but it's not like they're making. There's 15-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids out on the pitch making way more than them.
Absolutely.
So, all right, so let's get in there. Big shout out to Rob G. Your stupid Tottenham Hotspurs are Hotspur. I forget which is the right one to pluralize.
They are the Hotspur. Maybe I don't care. They're the Hotspur or they're the Spurs.
You know that, but you still call your team the Wolves. So don't. I
I'm
don't want to hear
doubling
this from you.
down. I double down on the Wolves.
Wolves.
You know I do.
All right. Well, let's bring in some of our guests today. We've got 2 guests calling in from England. Sorry, England. I was about to say London. I don't think Tony's in England, but let's bring him in London. Let's bring Tony in here. Tony, how are you, my man?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
He's like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling so much? You're just constantly yelling.
No, dang it. Missed your voice.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so sorry we weren't able to meet up at the West Ham match.
Mark,
That was
funny.
crazy that you were there.
He was above me and I was below, so I was like, he's right above me. And then it just didn't work out.
No, I was there with some people from work, and we got like corporate tickets because they were like $50, and it came with free beer and stuff, and we were like free beer and some food and programs, and some of the people I was with like don't watch football at all. So we were there, and I was like, guys, the match is starting. We got to go to our seats. Like, we're in this like cafe looking place.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I just ordered some pies. I'll be there in a minute. I'm like, let's go.
Did you have
and so watch the match. And then afterwards, you could go there afterwards and get a free beer. But we went there afterwards and nobody was there. Yet the bar had these trays, like they were ready to be bombarded by people to get their free drinks. So they had all these trays of pre-poured pints and nobody was there. And they were like, fellas, we're closing soon. Here you go. And we drank trays of pints until like the London Stadium was shutting down. They're like, guys, you gotta get the hell out of here. We're like, where are we? We need to get to Soho. And they're like, you are nowhere near that, sir. Get out of here.
God. So it was a good time. It was a good first West Ham experience for you.
I don't remember if the game happened. No, it was great. It was great. It's a massive stadium.
It was a great game.
Absolutely massive stadium. And it was a good game because they went down immediately in the second half. We were there for the Europa League. Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League. Against that I was like, who are these Serbian guys?
But their little tiny section that had, I think I counted, it was like 23 people in the away section.
Yeah.
And at one point they were much louder than the 80,000 seat arena that we were in,
because they stunned them with that goal.
Yeah.
And they were like so loud. I was just watching them like, yeah, go. I want to be in that section. Like, I'm up here in the corporate section. These guys aren't even, they're like checking their phones and shit.
The club executives or whatever they're called, they were like, you could hear them behind us when they scored because all 10 of them were just like, the section behind us. And we just turned around and we're like, well, there's the board of this random Serbian club. I had to like Google it. Their stadium's like 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we can't talk any smack about stadiums of 4,000 people. Oh, I guess 40,000. Never mind. I was going to say Arsenal just lost to Lens, which has like a 38,000 seat stadium, and there's 30,000 people that live there.
Oh, wow. So the whole city was there. Oh,
and
so they give away tickets.
and I guarantee you, cheers, man. Time for another one. Their fans won them that game. What the hell is that? Budweiser Boudoir?
Yeah, they brew it in Czech Republic. It's apparently the original Budweiser. So, cheers.
Cheers, man.
Boy, that piques my interest.
Yeah. Well, let's continue out London ways. We're speaking of West Ham. This fella, not to give away your location to the feds, but this fella lives. He was like, wait, Lolo's at the West Ham match? He's like right there. It's Mr. Tom, everybody. What's up, Mr. Tom?
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Mr. Tom.
Hello, everyone. Oh, look, really dark. Anyway, sorry. Right, so hang on. Let me get this
We're
out
letting
of the
you
way.
talk,
Right?
man. Take your time.
Yeah. Hello, Lolo. Mark, congratulations on the win. Tony, congratulations on the win.
Fuck yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
What about Arsenal?
Yeah.
Congratulations
Did you
on
win?
losing.
Did you win?
We had to get the loss out of the way so we can go up against City. So if they beat us, it's not like, oh, we ended their run. We're like, you don't got to
Even my
run.
team won.
And your team won. So good. Arsenal didn't do so well last year when we were top of the league for 872 days out of the year. So I'm fine with staying second place for most of the year.
Almost 3 years worth of being top of the league.
That's
folks,
what it
for those
felt
of
like,
you that
Mark.
do math, because Lolo says
I'm in metric years right now.
5 inches is like 4 meters, and now
I'm in metric days.
Still jet lag.
Metric days. I love that idea. By the way, Tom, I just want to say that last night's show for We All Love Leeds was you really rocked it. I had it on, and I was watching it while I was preparing dinner, and it was very, very entertaining. And I loved the question of the day because I was able to get one, and I didn't Google it because
I was glad someone did, otherwise we'd still be doing it now.
Exactly, because Tyler was my guy.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Mr. Tom and Ben Ireland host a show for all you Leeds fans out there. It is called We All Love Leeds. It's Sundays at 9 p.m. in the UK. It's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And they do match reviews, match previews, and that's it. Previews and reviews, right?
We mainly review what actually happened because we kind of look forward. But a quick story about this, right? I was talking to my parents about, I've got parents. I want a test tube child, and basically, cut a long story short,
hold on. I thought Cyril was your dad. And the finger duck.
And Finger the duck is his mom.
Finger the duck. Finger the duck is dad.
Sorry, fans of Cyril and Finger, they're in the house. Don't worry, they will be making appearances if they're allowed. Of course, they're allowed. Cyril and Finger. Of course, they're allowed. Of course, Mark knows. But I'll tell you this: I was talking to my parents, and basically, what we were saying, in my opinion, how the chant that "We are champions of Europe" is massively cringe. That's not a secret. I've said it before. My mum turned around to me and went, "That's not the worst chant Leeds United have." I went, "Wait a minute, what?" She went, "I'll tell you what the worst chant your team has." She went, "That one where you all stand there and go, 'We all love Leeds, we all love Leeds.'" I was like, "Wait, what? You?"
That's good.
Like being stabbed. It was like being stabbed. Like being stabbed through the heart and the back. Couldn't believe it.
That's a good dig, man. Maybe we should have her on the show.
You do not want that.
It's gonna be a lot of what?
Oh no. She just asks questions about everything. You could be sitting watching. She'll be watching a TV show that she's watched 8 times in 10 years, and I've never seen it. But then she'll be going to me, "What's happening? What's happening?" I'm like, "You fucking tell me. You're the expert on it." Sorry. Shouldn't say that. Anyway, sorry.
Why shouldn't you say that?
I gotta say that my lady is much the same way. We'll watch a movie together, and she'll be, we'll be getting into it, and she'll be like, "Why did that happen? Why did that happen?" And I have this stock response of, "I'm sure the answer to that question will reveal itself in just a few minutes."
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Just watch the film. If you have questions at the end of our program, we'll have a Q&A.
I won't want so much, but you've seen it before. You know what happens.
I'm the one who hasn't seen it.
Sorry, Tony.
And anytime my wife walks in and I'm watching a movie and she sits down and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I tell her, and she's like, "Oh, okay. So what's it about?" and I start talking. I'm like, well, this guy has these powers, and this guy is, he's a ghost, but he's actually a demon, and this guy. And she goes, stop. I shouldn't have asked. I'm going to bed.
Good on her. That's the proper
she goes
response.
like,
no, I'm good. I don't need
stop.
To know.
I don't care. I'm leaving. Like, bye. Going to watch Frasier. All right, fellas, let's get into some football talk. You guys heard what Mark and I were talking about, unless you had us on mute like proper guests. We are talking about the VAR issues, and maybe we don't need to get into the specificity of what happened in the match, more the ramifications of everything, with Jurgen Klopp saying it should possibly be replayed. It's never happened, even though Arsenal did a replay. Liverpool Chris suggested, he's a Liverpool fan clearly, and he said no replay. What should have happened was Ange Postecoglou should have gone up and told his players to let Liverpool score a la Marcelo Bielsa, which he did against Aston Villa, which led to you guys not being promoted that season, and Aston Villa being promoted that season, correct, Tom?
We weren't going to get promoted regardless.
It's okay. No. We can say,
but if you had won that match, you would have.
And you didn't get promoted. Maybe there's no correlation, but
that's the common misconception in the story. That meant we mathematically had no chance because we didn't win that match. But realistically, we still wouldn't have anyway.
Tony, do you know what we're talking about?
We didn't know that.
Yeah. I was going to say, what was it during the COVID season when Sheffield United should have won that match? Like, because then that was like another one I remember from the COVID season 2 years ago.
Oh, with the handball? It was
Mm-hmm.
No,
goal line technology foul.
The goal line technology,
yeah,
the cameras didn't see it.
Yeah,
that was so crazy. Tom, just for the people who may not know what we're talking about, tell us about that Marcelo Bielsa moment. Like, let us live that moment. And you know what? We're gonna put you here, pal. There you go.
Need to do that, but I appreciate it. Basically, it was a clear blue skies in a
That's why we put you full screen.
Sunny April afternoon. And cut a long story short, Leeds get the ball on the halfway line. We basically foul Aston Villa and then give the ball out to Matthias Klitsch, who then basically cuts in and scores because the player we fouled went down. And basically, you kick the ball out. Like the unwritten rule of football, you kick the ball out when someone's down. But we didn't kick the ball out. We scored. And basically, Villa went mad. Marcelo Bielsa, tutted around a bit and then just went, score. Let him score. Let him start. You've all seen it. He's going mental on the touchline. He's like, fucking let him score sort of thing. And then because Pontus Jansson, because he's a fucking winner, was basically like, I ain't fucking letting him score. So he tried to actually stop Villa. It might have been Tammy Abraham. I could be wrong. Tried to tackle him. Bielsa sold him.
Yeah.
Long story short, Bielsa sold him.
Immediately.
And he
was
in
the
Premier
first
League
to
for
go.
a couple years.
Yeah.
At Brentford.
Underpriced as well. It was basically like Bielsa was like, just take whatever you're offered. Want him out. Okay. But yeah, anyway, point is, let him score. It fucked us over mathematically, but realistically, in hindsight, it was the easy decision to make yourself look good. Not that.
Right. Now, Jimmy says, fuck, let him score. It wasn't a head injury. So that is actually more controversial, the Leeds United decision there, the Marcelo Bielsa decision, because it wasn't anything clear. You don't have to kick the ball out. They had every right to go and score. The ref didn't blow the whistle. And the thing was, the Aston Villa players were doing this instead of defending.
But you didn't have to do it in 99. You didn't have to give Sheffield United a rematch.
Exactly. But Arsene Wenger created a classy club, my friend.
Might have been because he knew you'd beat him twice.
So the question is, with such a clear thing, do you think Tottenham should have gone, I don't know what the fuck just happened. He was onside, go ahead and score a goal. Go ahead and score that goal and let them go score. Do you guys think that should have happened?
In an ideal world, yeah, but we don't live in an ideal world.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tom there. It's not gonna happen anymore. I mean, we've seen a shift since COVID, where we've kind of seen this whole like, and look, we all know I'm new to the game, but I just, to me, from the first year I started watching till now, there's been this kind of shift where it's not quite that gentleman's game anymore. There's too much money involved. There's too much at stake now. It's because of the amount of money that is being spent by clubs, and it's not equitable, through the top 20, through those 20 teams, that any advantage is taken, and I've seen it. I've seen where, they should kick the ball out of bounds and let it reset, like I'm familiar with. And as far as the sidebar, I've never seen that in any sport. This is a sport where it's like it's like, you know what, we don't want to beat you that way. But I as I've seen the last few years, that's been kind of thrown by the wayside. So in this particular case, no, Tottenham you take it. It's unfortunate. It went for us. It will go against us down the line, or it has gone against us down in the past. The ledger, is my mom would say, is that it'll work out in the wash.
Yeah, there's something about that, and you're absolutely right, Mark. Every team does it. You take your opportunities when they come, and it's not on Tottenham to go that looked onside, but they're calling it offside. No, I think it was onside. Give them a goal. Nah, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Even when
at stake.
You see it when you get a red card or you get a penalty, and you can see on the attacking team's faces when they don't think they deserve it, and they're like not making eye contact. They're not really talking. They go put the ball up and they're like, I'll score this goal, but that was fucked up. Like, oh, that was fucked up. A la Wolves, David Luiz. Most of your team was like, yeah, I had to bring it up, you motherfucker. All right, Tom, what's up?
On the league show yesterday, I was asked, so one of the viewers, I believe it was Colonel Ward, apologies if I'm wrong, asked, is there a match you would want to be replayed? And I couldn't think of one off the top of my head because I had a million things going through my head. But one I would want replayed, and under the rules that Liverpool have now set, I'm going to get it replayed, is when Leeds lost to Liverpool in the 2021-22 season because we unfairly had a player sent off for a fair tackle. Because he happened to injure Harvey Elliott, Pascal Strout injured Harvey Elliott, Klopp marched onto the pitch and demanded he be sent off, and because he's Jurgen Klopp, it happened essentially. And under his terms, that was unjust. So we need to replay the match. So we need to undo all the football results of the last two seasons.
No, I don't replay the match. Sorry, Tom, but you still lose that match if you replay it. Don't replay it. Replay one that you have a chance of winning.
No, we'll replay
I agree
that one.
I remember that red card, and there was no card coming out until Klopp physically got on the pitch and with his big old horse teeth was like,
That's eerily accurate.
You're absolutely right. That is a red card, brilliant. Mr. Ed.
Did he?
No, I don't care if we'll lose it.
Did he stop his foot? Did he stop his foot? Like, should that be a red card?
I just want to inconvenience him, and every match they've won where they got a decision should be replayed, so we can stack them up and just play them at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we might beat them if they've already, because they'll play Wolves the day before us. because of that FA Cup game.
And
So whoever
lose.
won the FA Cup that season needs to return the cup, because we'll replay that whole tournament from the moment Wolves went out. And then basically we'll do that. Then Leeds will play them. Wolves hopefully will injure a few of their players to even it up a bit. Not cripple, just so they can't play football for a couple of days. Like they're a bit sore, like not genuinely.
We're not that big a twats.
Jesus Christ. And if we go all the way back to like what are we doing? Which World Cup was it that England always complains about? Or let's go to
2010.
Maradona's hand of God. Let's go to Thierry Henry against Ireland, which, ask John Lawler, was the hardest day of his life. As a lover of Thierry Henry, but being an Irishman, Thierry Henry's handball for a goal that knocked Ireland out of the. I think they didn't qualify for the World Cup or something because of it.
Yep.
He's sitting there going,
one
of my favorite players for Arsenal, yet he just screwed my country. Funny.
I honestly think that these are rematches that are best played in FIFA. Just play them out in FIFA.
No, Liverpool wins that. Diogo Jota is like in the double digits of ranking in FIFA in the world.
Oh, I'm very well aware of everything that has made Diogo Jota great because he was a Wolf. And I rued the day that we basically traded him for Fabio Silva. No doubt. There was something that I was going to ask, and it's completely off topic. But Tony, was there ever a time that you ever expected to have a day that Longstaff, Cher, and Dan Burn all score in the same game? Because that was just silly.
Oh my God. Mark, you're taking us on a major tangent right now.
I am.
I really want to talk about that match. I really want to talk about it. But do you mind if we postpone that?
Yeah.
We can most certainly postpone it. But I'm just seeing Tony sitting there, and I'm just I got to ask him.
No, we can get to it.
It's basically three defenders scoring.
Shut up, Mark. We'll talk about it in a minute.
We'll get to it.
Because we haven't gotten Tony's opinion about this whole situation. He's been very quiet about all this. So, Tony, all that shit that we've said, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I just think of Klopp's new nickname of Karen Klopp.
Karen Klopp, that's awesome.
Well, because one, he complained about Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall with Tyndall like going to the touchline and like them trading off, and then when we played him this year, he was like screaming in the fourth official's ear, but then he does it for everybody else, and then he expects like nothing to happen to him. And thank God Van Dijk got like fined when he got sent off, because God forbid any one of his players do anything. They're prince and princesses over there. So, and then especially with him, he's like, I think the game should be replayed. We're like, what? Like Isak was like hairline in the new rules. He was onside for last year when Newcastle played Liverpool at Anfield. I'm like, oh well, that should be fucking replayed then, and maybe that changes how matches go. So, just anything that doesn't go his way, he just wants to complain about. So I didn't see the match. I just saw the highlights and just the controversy on Twitter all week, and I'm just like, God, this guy just never stops. And thank God he didn't become the German manager, because who knows what that would have been at the Euros next year.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I have an issue with Klopp in that, because I think he is a brilliant manager, and I think he's a brilliant man manager, to be honest. He deals with his side, his players very well, but he does have that Karen element to him. And that's where we're saying, like, if it was against Wolves, everyone would be like, yeah, shut up, you lost to City, shut up. But imagine their goal was called offside when it wasn't, and City won or drew, and they're like, shut up, be happy you got a point against City, right? That's what we would all be fucking saying.
What I don't understand is why why this story?
Chris is
because
chiming up.
we have so many examples of this happening
Chris.
to so many different teams, and
Now, still the German we've
also
got.
in the top 6. You know, everyone has a case of going, we got fucked. What I don't understand is why it is in this. Is it because it is so damn blatant that the storyline across the world and even in America, where English football has struggled to grab a foothold?
I can answer this, Mark.
CNN has the headline of the goal that was but wasn't, the monumental error that put English soccer in crisis mode. Since when has anyone in the United States?
Liverpool. It's because it happened to Liverpool.
And who owns Liverpool?
If it happened to Everton,
Fenway.
If it happened to Everton, we'd all laugh at them. We'd all laugh and get on with our day. That's the real truth of it, especially from a Leeds fan perspective. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about the rules or whatever. I'd be like, I want them relegated, and anything that gets us closer to that is great. Okay, and if I say anything else, I'm hypocrite myself and I'm lying. I don't give a fuck. I want them in the Championship. Fuck them. But the point is, because it's Liverpool, it's a travesty. Liverpool have got the balls to take on the football establishment. It's like, but it usually goes for them. They don't take on the football establishment. Anyway, exactly right. Yeah. What did Lolo say?
Something brilliant.
Something Boston.
Something Fenway. That's all I remember.
I've got one more
there
idea.
You go.
In terms of replaying matches, can we replay the 1930 World Cup final and just start football from scratch?
Just restart everything from scratch. No, Tom, I'll give you another one from our lovely Stoop crew member, Carol Gunny, because I'll keep your original one. You wanted to be against Liverpool. I think the first match back in the Premier League, the one that everybody had their eyes on, the one that exposed Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United to the world and won you a ton of fans, where you should have beat Liverpool, but there was that handball that gave them a penalty against Koch. That wasn't a fucking handball, and then they changed the rule immediately after that match. I think you guys drew or you lost 3-2 or 3-3.
We lost 4-3. We lost 4-3, but that was
4-3
the
the beginning
earlier in the game.
Season 3 years ago.
But it was one of these back and forth. Where imagine that handball wasn't given, and you start that season with 1 point. Liverpool starts with 1 point. Like, you guys already were on such a high, but why not replay that one? Because you could possibly win that one.
Yeah, but that cock handball happened at the start of the match. In an alternative universe, we might get turned over 7-0. We then went down the other end and scored immediately after.
That.
Fair enough.
I'm not as confident. Whereas, like, I am confident that if we replay the match that we lost 3-0, we might be able, because they won't have Harvey Elliott either, because we'll re-break his leg and then we'll replay it. Just to keep all things equal. Too far? Is that too? Really? All right.
Nothing's
sorry,
too
Harvey.
far. It's happy hour.
You're not watching it, Harvey, but that's all right. You might be. Yeah, exactly. Chris, yeah, see, I'm just being
some butterfly effect.
No, but it's totally
well. That's
true.
why Tom said go to 1930 and restart everything.
I mean, the best I think we can do is we can sit here and go, all right, here's the game that I wish that was replayed. You know, and just for the sake of it, you know. I mean, Arsenal has had countless losses with matches that didn't go their way. Same thing with Newcastle. Same thing with Leeds. Obviously, the same thing with Wolves.
No, I'll tell you right now. I hate to burst a bunch of you British people's bubbles, but if the Queen could have hung on one more month, we would have won the league. That's all I'm fucking saying. City were shit, and we were great, and we needed to play them, and that's the only game that got postponed, and they say postpone until next year once City is ready to play Arsenal. And then when we play them, they fucking turn us over. But if the Queen could have hung on one more month, we would have won the league.
I disagree. You
guys agree.
No, you lost. Arsenal lost the league because of Saliba's injury.
He wouldn't have got injured. Butterfly effect. He would have been so pumped up from beating City.
Saliba doesn't get injured, you're good to go. But he got injured.
Tony's going to say something.
Tony, say something, God damn it.
Julian says that.
Replay the 2022 World Cup bidding. It doesn't get hosted in the winter. Then Arsenal don't have to have this fucking pause in the middle of the season.
It did slow us down a little bit.
And
Jesus got hurt.
Yeah.
And Jesus
now
got hurt.
That is a thought.
No, there you go.
I've got another Liverpool game to replay. Stay with me, all right? We're through the looking glass here, people. Stay with me. If we can replay Liverpool versus Leeds last season and have Liverpool win, you heard me, have Liverpool win, we can get Jesse Marsch out the fucking club a lot quicker. And then maybe we can have a whole World Cup to fucking sort the fucking team out. But instead, we won against Liverpool, we won against Bournemouth, and the Bulls were like, oh, we're on an upturn. Think about it.
And then you bought a bunch of Americans and fired him 2 weeks later.
See, I mean, that becomes a completely different, like, alternative universe for me, because I will die on this hill. Leeds should have never fired Jesse Marsch. Never.
Leeds should have never fired Marcelo Bielsa.
Arsenal don't lose. Arsenal.
I actually.
Hold on, he's talking about Arsenal. Hold on.
Bielsa's
final replay.
refusal to change.
If you keep not letting Tony talk about Arsenal, I'm gonna mute you.
Replay Arsenal Barcelona Champions League final, then Henry doesn't leave.
That's one of the worst ones. The fucking red card. Anyway, okay, Mark. Thank you, Tony. You're speaking brilliance right now, but Mark has to talk about Leeds.
I'll wash your mouth out, Chris.
Bielsa's refusal to change is what got him fired.
And Leeds were relegated.
He was getting beat bad. And I love Bielsa. I love what he did. I loved his presence in Leeds. I loved everything that he did. But when were the beatings going to stop? You know? Now, but I think Bielsa's firing was inevitable. I don't necessarily think in that particular season last year that Marsch should have been fired, because for one, you just bought all these players for Jesse Marsch, and now you fire him and you bring in somebody else and you fire him. You know, it's just like nothing stopped the bleeding for Leeds last year.
Seriously. We had the worst timing of sack. We were always behind the 8 ball, I believe the saying is. We all I'll say this about Wolves. Everyone would criticise Wolves for sacking the manager early, but then they'd always get the best one that was currently available because they were first off the mark. Villa, again, getting Emery in, whereas we were like, oh, we're going to sack a guy who's available. Well, he don't want to leave his club. He don't want to leave his club. And he don't want to leave his club because they're all looking at the table and going, do I really want to take over Leeds in the shambles that they're in? And then we end up fucking getting, I don't know, one of Watford's like 8th manager in the last 15 years or something. But just...
So what do you guys think? Is it better to fire a manager quickly or to give a manager time?
I think, I'll say this, I think you should, and this is in contradiction to what I generally always believed, because I always thought it was wrong to sack a manager and then immediately, I thought it was insulting to sack Bielsa and then basically have Jesse Marsch in his grave when it's not even cold yet, sort of thing. But the reality is, in modern football, you need to have this plan. We sacked Jesse Marsch and basically didn't know who we were going to bring in.
Yeah, I'd say only sack.
That's
somebody
pretty
if you
much
have a
what I'm
plan.
getting at.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
No, I would say only sack them if you have a plan in place. If you don't, just like
Wolves.
Tom said, then it's just a shit show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wolves fire their
put the
manager
sack
and
in
wait
Bielsa.
3 months while playing
Yeah,
matches.
Lopetegui, that whole ordeal.
You will never, ever, ever catch me saying that we should have sacked Bielsa. But what I will say is, because Mark said, oh, you had to sack Bielsa because the results were bad. But we had a week where we played Tottenham, Man United, and Liverpool with basically half the squad injured. And then Jesse Marsh comes in and he gets handed Villa, Leicester, and Norwich. Of course, he's going to get off to a better start than Bielsa ended on.
As opposed to giving Bielsa the opportunity to turn this around. Like, you have a 3-game stretch where how many points were you actually expected to get out of that? 0, probably.
Sure.
Expected. And then the next 3, you're expected to get 5.
Yes. Bielsa went through a bad stretch, and I will give Leeds that. But if I'm not mistaken, that run, you guys gave up like 20 goals. It became embarrassing.
So what?
And his refusal to change, his refusal to do anything about it.
Brilliant. You're right. Bielsa shipped a record amount of goals, but his record got shattered by Leeds United the following year, who got even worse. So I don't know what to tell you.
Fair. Look. I'm going to be the first to say that I was, and I'm not. I'm more of a neutral. I was very sad to see Bielsa go, and I thought that was a big mistake at the time. In retrospect, makes me think these things. I don't think they should have given up on Marsh so much because they spent all that money in the winter break.
I agree for that reason.
To give him everything he needed, and they're like, oh yeah, well, no, fuck you. Which made all the Americans that they signed, the 3 Americans they signed, go, oh, we were hoping we don't want to play for someone that doesn't. We don't speak any other language other than football and English. And it just became comical at that point. You bring in the guy from where? From Italy, and then he lasts like 6 weeks, and then you bring in Big Sam. It made no sense to me. But I follow a club that fired their manager 3 days before the start of their season, which made no sense to me. So what do I know?
Mark, what makes no sense to me is we have multiple comments that say Mark is 100% right. Mark is absolutely correct. And for the life of me, I have no idea what they're talking about. What was it that you said that was so correct? I mean, the rest was good. I just want to put this good.
I just want to put this out to the public that I've only been watching football for about 3.5, 4 years.
You say that far too much. You say that far too much.
I just listened to Lolo, Tom, and Tony and form my own opinion.
But no, he's right.
These guys are my touchstones.
No, I think I was reading all the comments instead of listening, so I don't know. I don't know what you.
If you're going to sack Jesse Marsh, you do it during that World Cup period. But the problem is, you weren't going to sack him because he won the 2 games going into it, which is why I would redo it over and have Liverpool murder us. Because it may have been for the better of the club.
Actually, Tom, what I say is you run the season, you fire Marsh at the end of the season, so Marsh owns it. You fire him at any particular time during the season, he's like, well, they fired me. I could have saved them. He has an excuse.
He didn't get them relegated.
My biggest problem,
if he was fired at the end of the season, he would have been responsible for the results of Leeds. And he would have worn that for the rest of his days.
Matter of fact, he can own that he kept you guys up. Didn't he keep you guys up the last 2 matches?
Yeah, the savior.
The season
So
he took over from Bielsa.
He has that. You're absolutely correct, Mark. I just said it. It's freaking me out. But no, you're right. Jesse Marsh leaves on his CV. Yes, the fans think something completely different about him, but he leaves with on his CV and his bravado resume of I kept Leeds United up and didn't get them relegated.
Yep.
And then he proceeded to lose a lot of matches the following season. The thing I'm going to give him, and Rafinha, wait, what? Yeah. Rafinha trying to price himself out of a move to Barcelona actually kept us up.
We're gonna need some numbers on that, Chris.
I'm sorry, but that is the
doing a little
funniest
research
thing I've read in a long time.
Chris, we're going to need some numbers on that. We're going to do a watch along later on in the show where we figure out exactly what that number is. So feel free to join us on Mark's OnlyFans.
For argument's sake, not I'm going to take a trip to the Internet Movie Database, but Chris, what would you say her best 3.5 years in the business was? Just in your opinion, we can literally work it out, really.
90 to 90.
I hope you've seen a lot of football, Mark, or this could get embarrassing.
Oh, that was the most brilliant comment. That wins comment of the year. You win a beer. I'll keep it here for you until you want to just come and claim it. Maybe Ricky Gervais will accept it for you.
Lukaku brought it back to Ricky Gervais. I'll take it. Mark has also
you can tell Chris's age as well based on who he named.
McChronicle likes that idea. Maybe we would make more money if we just had a watch along.
Wow.
Anyway,
this goodness.
Yeah, we're getting a lot. Scooby D2, I played the penis formation at a club with 50 wingers tactics.
Okay.
How was the pace and power delivered in the 3.5 years?
Would Klopp
well, there was definitely 2 in the back.
Klopp with all the replays.
And then you get Najee. The problem is you have to do 3 in the back. You can't do a 3 in the back. And we're like, Najee, we're talking about porn right now, not Chelsea.
Najee, if you're watching,
there is one who did the elusive 4. There is one where the elusive
4 in the back
was achieved.
4 in the back.
I accidentally saw it once when I typed very specific words into Google accidentally.
Is that double D, double V? Which was
it was all A.
It was the South Park guys' rock band. That's what they called the rock band. Double V, double D, or double V, double A.
That was from the film Orgasmo.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Their first film. Oh well, shit. That was very fun. Very good little segue there. All right, enough.
Wow,
enough
things got weird. I need a bio break.
Yes, actually, I need a bio break as well. But we will be right back. Don't go anywhere, Tony. I know sometimes you leave in the bio break, but we do want to talk about Newcastle PSG, and then you can go home, or you're already home, but then you can go to bed. I know it's like 4 a.m. over there. So what are we going to watch for the break? Why not? We're talking about Leeds United. Let's give you a little love from a fan favorite. We will be back in just about 3 minutes after this little break. So go ahead and go to the restroom, but leave those earbuds in because you're going to want to hear what James has to say about Leeds United.
Here's a question. When you guys were in the desert that was the championship for 16 years, did you watch any Premier League games?
No. I didn't watch any of them. Fuck them. I didn't watch a single minute of a Premiership match. Swear to God. I didn't give a shit.
I must admit, I used to. Or anything like that.
No, I still don't watch. I don't watch anything but Leeds, mate. Nothing but Leeds. That's it. And that's all I care about.
I must admit, I'm with James this season. This season, I've struggled to watch other games.
Bielsa watches everybody. You should too.
No, and what I really hate is like people like talk, oh, that was a great match, man. That was a great match. And it wasn't even involving your club. I mean, no one cares. No, I don't care about that, man. No one care. I don't care about anything that doesn't involve Leeds.
All right. So in the last 15 years,
I fucking love you, James.
I love Leeds. I love Leeds.
How many times have you watched?
I love Leeds. Full stop.
So
full stop, mate. I love Leeds. I don't give a fuck about anybody else.
15 years? Like, is that what you're saying? Like, you didn't? Did you watch Lionel Messi or Ronaldo or anyone?
No, nobody watched
that. No, don't care. I don't care. I only care about Leeds.
That's fucking insane.
I don't know. I don't even know who those people are. Who are they?
How do you know?
Lionel Richie and someone? I can't remember. What did you say?
James.
I'm in a bubble, mate. I'm in a bubble. It's called the Leeds bubble. I'm there. I'm here to stay. I signed up for this 40 years ago, and I'm not leaving. It's the 40 years.
I wanted to ask you, James.
Leeds bubble. I don't give a fuck about any other team.
No.
I really don't.
Well, in that case,
you on the
today's one.
I hate them all. I hate them all
because we scored it.
Varying degrees of hatred.
Right. But
It's going to make me hate you.
See, James, that's the thing is you think that like bothers James at all? James expects he expects that you hate Leeds. He comes.
I want you to hate Leeds.
Exactly.
I want you to hate us.
Yeah. After this
I don't want you to like us. Any of you.
Beat you.
No. Look, I love your hatred, man. I feed off of it. I feed off your hatred like any Leeds fan does. We don't give a fuck. You hate us and we don't give a fuck.
Mr. Tom, you're
James
with us.
right
Can
there.
you just show the mug that particular clip inspired? Because if it ain't Leeds, fuck them. Brilliant.
Is it still available to buy?
Only on the Stoop will you find. Of course, it's available to buy. You should get it in like several colors: yellow and blue and white.
Yeah.
Who did we lose?
Get in one color this month, get another color next month, and another color the month after, and then in 8 months' time, you'll start receiving them in various months. So,
fantastic.
why Mark getting a poem for Wolves beating City? Yeah. Did he say?
Oh, well, Mark, get a poem.
Yeah,
for
Hickory
Wolves
Dickory
City.
Dock. Fuck the Wolves.
Hickory Dickory Dock. A wolf was on my cock. They beat City, made them look shitty, and now Arsenal will lose on Sunday. Oh shit. Okay. So quickly, we will get to Tony's. He's like, I'm running out of steam here. All right. So Tony, let's quickly talk about the first Champions League match in 20 years. 20 years at St. James Park. What an environment. What a showing by your fan base. We've already said top in contention for number one fan base in the world is Newcastle's fans. I know Leeds United is up there, but
they're in the top 2.
St. James Park can become a powerhouse where, and I'll re-ask Mark's question. Did you ever think a Champions League match against PSG, or not even against PSG, just anyone, that you would have Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, and Sean Longstaff scoring on the score sheet. Not to mention, and a little goal from little Miggy Almiron. Did you ever see that happening?
No, I honestly I was hoping for a draw because once I saw PSG put out a 4-2-4, basically, I was like, oh fuck, Luis Enrique isn't fucking around. He's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna pummel you with offensive power of Gonzalo Ramos, Mbappe, and that the other French striker they have, and Dembele on the right. And I was like, oh god, this is gonna be bad, especially when Dembele. I don't know if anybody watched the highlights, but Dembele missed, the goal like just the size of my laptop, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, and here it goes. And I think because he missed that, just like totally shifted the mindset. Because then after that, it was like, we got these guys, and then it was game on. I couldn't believe it. Like my wife and I watched it, and it was
at the end of the match. At the end of the match, I was switching between all the matches, and I kept coming back to that match because y'all were playing so well. And it's not like PSG weren't attacking. And then at the end of the match, they're like, okay, here comes the miracle where we scored 3 goals in stoppage time. And that tackle by Schär, however you say it.
Fabian Schär, yeah.
Schär. Do you believe in life after? Like, that was the tackle alone was highlight reel. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, and then he keeps running, and I'm screaming at my television going, lay it off. He's on it. He's got, like, after that tackle, he was like, when you're playing a video game and your character gets like all powered up and it's like, yeah, do your special move. And he got it, and he fell on the ground as he kicked it, which added some crazy. And I was like, please go in. That has to be like Puskás best. Is Puskás the goal or the save?
Yeah, I think Puskás is the goal of the year.
So goal of the year has to include the tackle, because the tackle was top class, and for the ref to not blow the whistle, the ref was right there. Brilliant call, clean.
Not a worse song. What are you talking about?
Oh man!
Well, because of the camera angle, I thought it was Bruno. Because the camera,
it shouldn't have been Schär. It was midfield.
Yeah. So right. Because the way the camera was, I didn't realize it was him pressing up on it. So I'm like, oh, it's Bruno. And then like they go like to like they zoom in. I'm like, holy fuck, that was Fabian Schär. Then he just hits the ball. I was like,
he popped up and made a great pass and then legged it. And it looked like PSG was like, wait, we lost the ball. Wait, what do you do? Wait, huh? Wait, there's a goal. We're losing by 3 now. Like, what just happened?
Yeah, and then the Longstaff ball, like you could tell that he made the run, and Trippier was like, "All right, I'm gonna give it to you," and then he just like hit it, and I was like, "Oh, he just beat Gianluigi Donnarumma." Like part of me was happy, and then I was like, "Oh god damn it!" Like that was like a he hit it pretty hard, but still I was like, fuck. And then the Burn one, he just towered over Skriniar, I think it was, and
yeah,
right.
The whole
I was like, how is he not offside? And then they show it, and you're like, oh yeah,
because it was the handball, and I was like, yeah, we're beating
Dan
PSG.
Burn is having a really good season compared to last year.
Yeah,
he scored like 3 or 4 goals this season, right?
He's already got a header.
I think he has at least 3.
Southampton. Yeah, he never scored a header last year, and then he's
as much as he tried.
Yeah. And then Miggy's goal, like I thought Isak was going to score at first, and then Miggy just sprinted right place, right time.
He pounced on that.
He could have had one earlier,
15 yards out.
He could have had one earlier.
Are you?
And when he missed that, I was like, no, Newcastle, you cannot waste those chances against PSG. You're going to get it. But Dan Burn, not only did he get the goal, to me, Dan Burn's best performance in that match was locking down Mbappe. And everybody was like, he's too slow. He can't turn. That was what?
It was like a total Lascelles and Trippier, and like they were all just taking turns. Like, they were like, I go off him, you go up. It was like it was tactically perfection by Eddie Howe of how they played that.
And I loved, somebody said there was some meme out there of saying like PSG saying, oh, of course Newcastle beats us with all of their oil money, when 3 of the scores were on like the 2018 team that was in the Champions League championship or something. You know, like I think it was
Lascelles
staff. And that's where you go, Eddie Howe. And that's what we've always said. We want to make fun of Newcastle. We call them Sandcastle. We call them Newcastle, all of that. But what Eddie Howe has done with Almiron, Joel Linton, Lascelles, all these players where he didn't go in and clean house.
Right. He went in, I was nervous,
and repurposed.
Because Wilson was out, Willock's still out. Joelinton got hurt the other day, came off early.
Right.
So Wilson
you lost Botman.
Yeah, and Botman's out.
Botman's out to like January, I think.
No, after the international break. Harvey Barnes got injured.
Barnes is out until January.
Yeah.
And that's like a lot of depth on the bench.
Yeah, and then they beat Man City last week in the League Cup. I know it was like not a strong City side, but still, like beating Man City at home and then beating PSG, that's saying a lot, because World Cup winning Mbappe and the squad that they have. I was like, I was still nervous. I was still nervous for it, but I knew a bunch of people at the match, and just I was getting pictures and videos, and that crowd helped them a ton, like you were saying. So
yeah, no doubt.
Now that they have BVB, and then I think away or home, they could make it to the next round, and that's
you beat Dortmund, and you would have to work hard to not make it to the next round.
Yeah.
Because that would put you on 7 points after 3, with every single club taking a loss. Except y'all, like even a draw against Dortmund. If you draw the rest of the way, you should be fine, because you killed the giant in the group. So
yeah, now I just got to beat Milan at home.
They are the giant in the group.
No, but you drew with Milan already, didn't you?
No, Newcastle were the giant in the group.
Now
do you really
they are.
think that, Tom?
I
looked at that group and I was like, man, this is the toughest group of them all.
Just because they've all been in Europe a lot and not really won it.
Yeah. But I thought Milan, just from the season they had last year, and they added in the summer, I was like, I was being super pessimistic, like that we weren't like gonna get anything, and I'd be happy with whatever. And so
Milan get outbid by Bournemouth for footballers, so what's to be afraid of?
Right.
Just the experience that they have. But
Wednesday, those players don't have it. Just the shirt and the badge has the experience. And that doesn't play the game, does it? I mean, the people they have out there are worth significantly less than the players you have out there.
Yeah. No,
I'm not saying you didn't do well. I'm just saying I think people are a bit... I don't know what the right words are for it, but I think it's a bit... People are pretending there's a shock where there's not as much of a shock. Because you are a lot better than people were giving you credit for. I sat on shows saying, because people were telling me you were a bad football team because of your start to the season. I was like, but they're not going to be bad for the rest of the season. They're going to start winning.
Well, no, I mean, the Liverpool match, they bottled it in the last 10 minutes. But other than that, they held their own.
Exactly.
But Wednesday it was Donnarumma, Italy's starting keeper. Then you have Hakimi, Real Madrid player, now PSG, but just he's
Hakimi's
Hakimi.
fantastic.
Oh,
and then they have Hernandez on the left, and then Skriniar came from Inter. I mean, their whole squad, but they got outplayed by Eddie Howe's tactics, which I was very happy to see, especially after the Man City win and then beating Burnley. So, it's just a good string. And then West Ham on Sunday will be interesting to see as well because there's no Anthony Gordon because he's suspended.
Right. Yeah. Well, on the other side of the coin, there's no Antonio, right? Is he out?
Yeah. I don't know.
West Ham as well.
Yeah, and Cal Molson always scores against West Ham, and I don't know if he's going to play on Sunday.
Yeah. Joe Linton, Wilson, Gordon, Botman, Willock, and Barnes all out for the West Ham game.
I still think Newcastle will finish second.
If there's a time to pounce, this would be the time.
And West Ham's in good form. Don't forget, West Ham's in good form right now. But Tony, are you seeing this season similar to what's happening against Arsenal? Why people feel like Arsenal are not firing on all cylinders? We're not winning decisively. Yes, we Bournemouth fairly decisively, but the difference is last season Arsenal shocked people by how good we were, and they were playing us just coming at us, and we destroyed them. Not destroyed them, but we won all those matches. Now teams are coming at us with a bit more respect and coming at us with, they've been thinking about it for so long. I feel like Newcastle is getting that as well, where it's not just all right, Newcastle's here, let's battle. It's Newcastle's here. Let's not give up a ton of goals, sort of a thing. Do you feel that that it's not only your team maybe underperforming in the league, it's that other teams are being way more prepared for you than they were last season or the season before?
Yeah, I think the second point you were saying, because I remember after the Brighton match, we all were texting about it, and that match had me worried because Eddie Howe just wasn't impressed, and they didn't know what to do with the ball, and Brighton was like, "Here, just have it," and they didn't have an answer for that. So that's what makes me nervous in those matches, because that's what PSG was on Wednesday. It was, we're gonna give you the ball, and then when we get it, we're gonna pull the Liverpool counter, basically, and that's the only thing that makes me nervous. But I hope.
Yeah. So when you go up against teams, I need to see who are the teams that you've actually dropped points to this season.
Brighton, City, Liverpool.
Oh, so those are actually better teams going at you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't exactly say they're better teams, but
the Liverpool one,
we go back and forth.
80 minutes.
I mean, like
say Brighton are better than Newcastle.
One minute people say Brighton's really good, and then the next minute we're not. My question might be is as far as this like decisiveness of Arsenal's wins. I mean, come on, 1/3 of your goals this season have been penalties. That's not exactly decisive.
I'm sorry, if somebody slide tackles you and doesn't touch the ball and you're in the box, what do you want me to do? Miss the penalty?
Tony, do you fancy getting a point while they do what they're about to do?
I'm sorry, last week against Bournemouth, the 2 penalties that we got, I feel like our players were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what do you, like, Odegaard got the ball and he got slide tackled and he looked up and he kind of looked at the guy like, what are you doing? Like,
right.
That's a penalty, right? Like,
right. I guess I'm only feeding the fire because like last year and the year before, you're criticizing Bruno Fernandes for like getting all the penalties. And now this year, you guys are getting the penalties. You guys are getting all the penalties. You guys have gotten 5 this season. The next down the line is 2.
Now go look at those penalties. You guys are
getting help.
Which one of those was controversial?
I would have to go back and watch them all.
Exactly, because they don't stand out, and we're not asking for replays.
No, I just don't watch Arsenal.
Also,
well, then shut the fuck up.
I'm just going by the stats. Who is that? Who is that? It's is that no? I don't know. The only thing he's a black wrestler, Junkyard Dog. That's the only black wrestler I know.
Lolo, I will say I was happy to see Man United lose to Galatasaray, though. That was great.
Oh,
isn't it so much fun watching them in Chelsea this season?
Another fucking red card for Casemiro.
Yeah,
he's so
because
sloppy.
Casemiro's trying to win everything himself because he's like nobody else on this team wants to play. And sorry, let me go back, Mark. I do not criticize Bruno Fernandes for penalties. I criticize Bruno Fernandes for being a complete and utter twat.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
No, give him all the penalties you want.
2 years ago. You criticized
2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was in my 30s. All right, so
2 years ago, you were crying about David Luiz.
No, that was like 20 minutes ago.
I love you, baby. I love you. Who is
no,
that?
No,
God
but for
damn
me,
it. Is that Idris Elba? Is it Idris Elba?
Virgil?
They don't all look the same, Mark. It's almost.
Not Coco. It is not Coco Beware. I love Coco Beware.
Getting all the...
Chris is on it. I don't know if he has COVID or he has family over. I'm a little confused by his texts. But maybe he has both. But he is killing it in the chats tonight.
Texting like a man who's heavily medicated.
The fact that a Liverpool fan wants to say anything about this is just fucking comical.
Chris, if you're able to comment, you're able to come on the show.
Fucking twat.
That penalty was shambolic, Debbie Lewis. It was the worst.
Rob G says,
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
My real favorite is Man U fans talking about how they can sign this or that player because they're Man U to get back where they belong. Past glory doesn't matter. And that's coming from a Tottenham fan who is putting all their past glory aside and saying that doesn't matter.
What past glory?
They've spent so much money.
I love you, boo. That's why I love you, boo.
Man United
have spent so much money. Like, I know a lot's made of like Chelsea spending £1 billion and like actively being worse than they were before they spent it. But but Man United also is like they bought Jadon Sancho, and then within 2 years, the manager's going out on TV and going, "He's the reason we're shit." He's like, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not solely the reason you're shit.
And Tom, did you see? So everybody, all the rest of the teams played up until Sunday, and then on Monday there was one match. It was Chelsea. Mudryk actually scored. And
I won on that.
That was in October.
He scored twice, didn't he?
No, he scored one. He scored one, and that was October 1st. All these memes and tweets about Mikhailo Mudryk, 1 goal in October. Arsenal, 0 goals. City, 0 goals. Newcastle, 0 goals. Liverpool, Mo Salah, Marcus Rashford, all these players, 0 goals. And I was like, we haven't fucking played. You're the only team who fucking played.
It doesn't matter. Memes don't care about the truth.
No. The problem is it was the truth. It was the truth.
If you want memes that are about the truth, if you want memes that are all about the truth, after the City game, Craig Dawson, after the City game, Craig Dawson got mugged outside the Molineux.
No
and
way.
And the robber said, he had a pistol on him. He said, "Empty your pockets." This is what the robber got.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, that's why I liked
very nice.
Lolo, after your game on Tuesday, the official Ligue 1 Twitter was like, "Oh, Farmers League," and then their reigning champions get stomped on. I was like,
I saw that. I was like, "Thank you, Newcastle. Thank you, Newcastle."
But that was the oil league, wasn't it?
Because listen, Arsenal got done in a similar vein as PSG, where y'all were playing with 12 men with the crowd. Lens was playing like that is such a compact stadium. Not to put any excuses. I still think we should have won. But you could tell our players had this, they just looked a little shook. And the fact like you could barely hear the commentators talking because that stadium was rocking. And that's what every fan who was there was saying of like, I don't know about the performance on the pitch, but those fans deserve that win. Like, and that's how St. James Park felt when I was watching it on TV. So
they were never not losing that match, Newcastle. They could still be playing that match right now, and Newcastle would be winning. I don't know what the score would be, probably a lot, but
it would probably be like 16-8. You know, like
they were more dominant than that. They were. Mbappe had the look on his face of a man who was like not used to having to do much.
You gotta love Debbie Lewis, Mark. Right? You gotta love Debbie Lewis, the Ballon Dawson.
The TNT sports commentator was like, and that's a man who just wants to go home.
Yeah. Oh God!
I will say that like, there's a portion of the match against City where there's a beautiful ball fed into Holland, and Dawson he puts it out, and Dawson's all just like super excited. It's like yeah, I did that, and Holland comes up and grabs him by the hand and pats him on the patch as to say, you know what, that was class. And I was amazed to see that.
Yeah. It was because that's what's happened. Holland doesn't
I honestly thought that like Dawson was going to get a red card for that.
But being Man City 2-1's not for everyone. So we're in the 2-1 club.
We're just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah,
everyone can be
hoping to join that club.
Oh God, I want you to join that club, honestly. And I think you could. I think it's gonna be a draw. It looks like Saka's gonna play. The question that I have,
Saka plays
since we're on it, since
in
we're
crutches. Saka's on the pitch.
Since we're on it, I'm gonna ask this: do you start Saka or do you bring him on in like the last 20 or 30 minutes?
I can answer that.
Please.
If Saka can walk, he starts. Not my choice. Mikel Arteta. If Saka can walk, he starts. And if he comes off limping, hopefully he doesn't play for England and he gets a fucking week rest. But knowing that stupid manager that England has, who called him up being as injured as he is, like this is a time where you have an excuse for not calling Saka
up. He plays too much football.
I mean, if you're the England manager and you play Saka right now, like let Arteta get the blame for ruining Saka. Don't jump in there and be like, I'll help. But Gareth Southgate's fucking moron.
I'll be there, Italy, England. So I hope
Saka is totally being overplayed.
But that's Saka as well. Saka's a tough little motherfucker, that dude. And he gets kicked every single match. He gets destroyed every single match. And he pops up. And I feel like Arteta wouldn't play him if he didn't say, I'm good. Let's go.
All right. So question to everyone except for to Lolo. How much does Saka end up on the floor? That dude goes down repeatedly every single game.
He's going for the calls, just like they all do.
Dirty bastards, those Arsenal, I tell you. These Arsenal players, absolute filth. You only have to blow on them and they are on the grass, I tell you. Like, gust of wind puts them on the floor. Sorry. Wait, what? I don't know what I'm talking about. I just wait to see the look on his face.
Bremer's
It's probably
ghost.
true, though.
Oh, my
It's probably
goodness.
true.
That's awesome.
That makes sense because of the 731 times, according to Chris's maths.
And Pincushion says more than.
Yeah, I think Lolo. I think you guys will be. Sunday will be a draw.
That would be great.
Oh, that's best case scenario.
I got a controversial take which will come out during a certain segment.
Speaking of that certain segment, because I don't want to hear Mark's fucking conversations anymore where he tells me to be quiet. But
I'm so happy we're back.
I just need you to recognize that I did. Not even going to comment on your. Moving on.
I love you.
Shut up. I go away. Go away. Fucking Morty. Fucking bleeding Morty. All right, guys, it's time for Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. Let's do it.
Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love. Place your bets.
Hello. Cyril's not alone. Look who's with him. It's Finger.
Oh, Finger
the Duck. Finger the Duck's back.
Let's see Finger the Duck. Let's see. There he is.
It's Finger.
Finger the Duck.
He dresses as a fist, but he's also a finger. And he's a duck.
And if you missed the early portion of the show, that has been confirmed on Maury Povich. He is your father. Finger the Duck is your father.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. Lolo is MIA edition. I'm missing in action. What am I doing? I'm here.
You was missing in action.
I was. All right, Tom.
Right. We're starting off nice and simple. We're going to get the Spurs with a routine win in the lunchtime kickoff. Son's going to score first. Madison's probably also going to score. Get yourself just under 100 quid. Bosh. Nice and simple. You get yourself some fish and chips by the end of the 3 o'clock games. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. I hope it's wrong. I hope Luton win. But
no, I hate to say, but this bet has some merit. I'm going to screenshot that there. Yeah, I don't have any problems with this. Son is scoring like crazy. And Rob G says solid bet. The only weird thing is Madison. I could see Madison getting 3 assists. But he's always up in there. Madison up for signing of the season, by the way, as much as I hate to say it.
No. That's a good call.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good call.
Still hope
that's enough about that.
Going for a slightly riskier take, right? Liverpool are a logical pick because they're going to benefit from the unconscious bias from the officials that are going to be intimidated to go against them. You can tell me I'm talking shit, but we all know deep down that's probably what's going to happen. Salah gets on the board first. You only then need Ferguson to get one of Brighton's 2. Then get yourself.
That's good for 182. 183, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's do that one as well.
Liverpool are due a win against them as well.
Yeah. Now, the thing about this one is after Brighton got just demolished, I feel like they might be on it. They're at home. Liverpool expect to be given something here. I could see it go the other way as well.
They'll be on it because they're against a big 6. They always turn up against a big 6.
So maybe switch it over.
Turn up against 12 of them, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Maybe place a $1 bet on this and also reverse the 3-2.
Not the worst.
It'll probably pay you more.
No.
But I still think Mo Salah first, Evan Ferguson to score. Those are good calls.
Do that even with Brighton 3-2. Do
Brighton 3-2. That's probably even more.
Do Salah to score first and Brighton to win 3-2. And you'll coin it.
I think my issue here is that Gakpo is out for this match. And Jota is out for this match, and that might kind of stagnate the scoring opportunities. But I could be wrong.
Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez, like.
Yeah, but
That's
Nunes
not much
hasn't
of a
been
downgrade.
starting. I don't know. I do like it.
Right?
I'm just kind of curious about the. I'm curious about the 3-2, but I'm taking it. I am.
My
taking
unconscious logic here is the first sort of even half penalty opportunity Liverpool get. VAR are going to go definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely a penalty. Give Mo Salah the ball, and then you're well on your way to getting yourself 183 quid.
Right.
Yep. And that will be Mo Salah taking the penalty. So you're right.
Exactly right.
Not a bad shoot. Hey,
And,
Rob, he's been doing better this season, but
for the third one, I did my research while I was on my way home from the cinema watching The Creator, which was not bad. Not the best movie.
Yeah.
Not bad. I've seen worse, but I've also seen a lot better. But anyway, from where I was looking at what people thought the 4:30 kickoff, London English time, was going to be, and lots of people going, Man City going to win 2-1, Man City going to win 3-1, Man City going to win this. This is all Man City. So I'm going with Arsenal win 3-1.
Wow.
Because
Trossard to score, Jesus.
Too many untrustworthy people were telling me Man City. Plus, I wanted something that paid big. And nothing pays bigger than Eddie and Ketia scoring first.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'll take this, but I would also be interested in seeing if Nketiah starts. I don't think he starts. But I'm still going to take. I'm still going to take the bet.
I selected Chelsea to win 2-0 last week, and because the goal scorer I did Raheem Sterling to score, but he didn't play, so it automatically reverts to a correct score win. So probably 8-1, whatever it was. So you would have won.
Yeah, this is actually a really good bet on my end. Yeah. It's on my betting side. It's 331.
Damn.
I still think they're gonna. Now they're definitely gonna play Eddie because I've told them to.
Yeah, and he was just called up for England, so I'm sure he'll play.
Eddie's gonna want to prove that selection was justified. But what's most important is I want to know what photographs Calvin Phillips has of Gareth Southgate, because there's no way he can keep getting selected without playing for his club. And he must have photos of him with a horse. He has to have. Doing inappropriate things. What do you think, Cyril? Yeah, Cyril's suspicious as well.
Yeah, Harry Maguire not playing, and he still gets called up for England. Like, just doesn't make any sense.
Now, see, it would make more sense if he had other call-ups like that, where he's like, Emile Smith-Rowe, you get a call-up. I know you're not playing, but you're important to the team. Where you're like, wait, hold on, because like how. You got to think, even as much as you like Harry Maguire, he's not playing. He's not getting.
He's literally not playing.
He's not ready. Why? So maybe you call him up to make sure he gets ready. I don't know.
It's just weird, and I hope they shit the bed against Italy.
They will. Don't worry.
I hope so.
It'll be fine. Yeah. All right, guys. So last 10 minutes here of the show. Did I already get your predictions about Arsenal City?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-2 draw.
Desmond going on. All right. Tom, you believe in your 3-1, or that was just for the bets? What do you believe will happen?
I do believe you're due a win against them, because your record against them is absurd for the team that finished second.
Yeah, and it's at home. They don't have Rodri, who always just fucking, I hate him so much. They don't have De Bruyne, they don't have Rodri, but they have fucking everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they can bring Alvarez off the bench and he's like fucking scoring for fun. He came in the Champions League. They were going to draw 1-1 against Leipzig. He comes on, goal and an assist in the last like 10 minutes. You're like, oh my God. And Haaland couldn't do anything.
That's a scary thing.
That's so fucking scary, but they're different strikers. They're different attackers, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant of Man City to allow Pep to have those two type of players. And Alvarez is going to be... he's going to be good for a while.
Yeah, I think
now Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, but I think coming off of that Leipzig match, they're gonna want to make a statement against you guys. So that's why I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I would like to see. To be honest, just as far as the league champions go, I would like to see someone else besides City.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure that Arsenal is the one to do it in this particular case. I think it's going to be a very, very good game until the second half. And at that point, I think City's depth is going to prevail. Because they do bring Alvarez off the bench. They do bring Grealish off the bench. I just with the potential injuries and Foden, although Foden could very well start, you never know.
Any of those players could start, Mark.
Exactly.
They've started Haaland and Foden, Haaland and Alvarez at the same time,
right?
With Foden in the Kevin De Bruyne role, which he might actually be better in that role than as a winger or a forward. So
and given the potential injuries of Arsenal, even if the players that are claimed to be injured play, I don't necessarily see the depth. And not only that, but I'm also curious, is this a game that Arteta is willing to sacrifice? Because after the international break, Arsenal's schedule is kind of like, it might not be brutal. I'll call it brutal, but it might not be brutal, but it's super busy. Like, you guys are playing like 6 or 7 games in 2 weeks. I mean, you guys are regardless of what you spent in the transfer window, and unfortunately Timber went down. You guys are still not. You're still not a deep team. You'll get deeper in the winter transfer window, hopefully, but right now you're not exactly a deep team.
No, you're right.
And I think that's going to hurt you. So my question is do you hold Saka back for a couple of weeks because you have that congested schedule? Do you sacrifice this match so that you can be ready and gain the points and move forward in Champions League and the FA Cup and toward those trophies coming up? I don't know. Your schedule. Regardless what I say, your schedule is going to get fucking hard.
Mark, I hate to tell you,
after the international break.
We're going to have a meeting after this show because you've been talking a bit too much sense and logic that I'm not really digging it. I prefer when you don't know what you're talking about. But
Lukaku,
David De Gea. But Mark, you're totally right. I think somebody said it here. Jimmy says 6 games in 14 days, big fucking deal. Absolutely. But now Evan says exactly that. What I was going to say, that's not how Arteta thinks. He doesn't know how to manage. That's not what I was going to say. To be fair, he's still a novice. My thought is Arteta has proven that he's not looking forward. He's dealing with every single match almost to a fault, where he feels like he can win it on paper and he should win it on paper this way, and he kind of tinkers a little bit too much. But here's why Saka starts. If Saka does not start against City and he's on the bench, he will play both games for England. If Saka plays for Arsenal a full 90, comes off limping on purpose, hopefully, like, and he's like, hey, by the way, I'm going to sub you out in later in the game. You need to come off like super limping so fucking Southgate doesn't play you. There's a chance he sits out one of those games or comes off the bench for England or something like that. Gets a little bit of rest. But if Saka's fit, Saka is one of, if not our best player. Odegaard being a close second there for me. Odegaard to me is our most important player.
Actually, if I can have you pause on that, yeah. I will throw that out to the comments. Who is more important to Arsenal? Odegaard or Saka? And I might say Odegaard.
Odegaard, 100%. Odegaard is way more important. Saka might be a better player in that position, in his position that he's in. And we don't have anyone who can fill in for Saka one for one, like for like, because he is so good. You put Reece Nelson, you put ESR, you put any of these other players out there, Trossard, Jesus, anybody you want to put out there on the right wing, they're not the same as Saka. He's proven to be something very special. Odegaard, however, is more important, and in matches that we lose, you can clearly see that Odegaard is not involved. He's not involved enough, and that's why we drop back. And games that he's super involved. I mean, look at our 4-0 win. He had like a goal. He could have had 2 goals or 3 goals if he took the penalties, and or no, if he took both penalties, he could add 2 goals and an assist in that. So Odegaard, and then you can say maybe Saliba would be the next one. To me, Odegaard, then Saliba, above any of our other players. Those two.
Well, Saliba
and Declan Rice
last
eventually. Year. Declan Rice will be eventually. Not yet, but. Sorry, I'm speaking a lot. You guys, please. We got talking Arsenal, so.
No, nothing,
they got
guys?
nothing to say. They got nothing to say. Tom is reading a book, and Tony's looking up Italy 94 highlights.
Wanted to replay that penalty kicks.
He's like, how can I improve my puttanesca sauce?
Puttanesca. Now he's like growing his what's his name?
Baggio
ponytail.
Yeah,
he's working on it back there. He's pulling it. All right, guys. So last few minutes of the show. Listen, we've got crazy matches coming up this weekend. We have oh fuck, what am I doing? John made all of these for us. Here we go. So we have Luton Spurs, Burnley Chelsea, Everton Bournemouth, Fulham Sheffield United, Man United Brentford, Palace Forest, Brighton Liverpool, West Ham Newcastle, Wolves Villa, Arsenal City. What is the upset of the week gonna be?
I think Vincent Kompany gets his first one against Chelsea.
That's not an upset. Chelsea are terrible.
No, but
their first win. Burnley beat Luton during midweek.
Yeah, they beat Luton.
Okay, all right. So, all right, second one. I think they just because he doesn't care who he plays, they're still going to play aggressive. I think they'll best Chelsea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Other than that, I don't know who's an upset.
Well, they're all saying
maybe Brentford beats Man
Wolves are going to
United.
beat Villa.
Ooh.
I like that.
Wolves beating Villa would be a major upset because Villa look very good right now.
Brentford beat Man United.
Brentford beating Man United. Do we not remember like the 4-0 before halftime?
That's gonna be a tough. That's gonna be a tough ball. That's gonna be a tough ball because I think Brentford is missing a lot of players. Let's see.
And they just lost 2 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, Brentford's not a very good team.
They lost to Arsenal.
They have
the
no Rico Henry,
they lost to Newcastle,
no Damsgaard, no Ben Mee, no Batiste. It could be tough, but it could happen. It could happen.
I'm trying to think.
I'm actually gonna piss Rob Greenwood off, and I think Luton is gonna upset the Spurs.
Oh, okay.
Luton at home. Luton is playing pretty decent right now. No one knows who they are, and the guy I met at Dram Shop 2 nights ago. This is for you. Luton will beat Spurs. That's my upset special.
Wow.
I got a question for you all. Genuine question.
Wang to bang the Villa. There you go. Big up for the Wolves.
Who's going to win first? Bournemouth or Sheffield United?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth will beat Everton.
I'm gonna go Sheffield United will leave the ranks of the insufferables and win their first match before Bournemouth. Sheffield United will. I love Debbie Lewis saying Wang to bang the Villa. But to be honest, I wanted to say something different. I want to say thank you, Pincushion. That is number Wang, but no, I kind of like to refer to him as racist as it might sound. But fuck you, Jurgen Klopp, the Korean guy.
Listen, we've been hating on Jurgen Klopp all we want, but
we hate on Pep. Do that, but couldn't you believe it?
That was
Pep. That was Pep.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was Pep. It was Pep. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I got confused. But seriously, to like, they're a tough team, especially up front. Neto, Konya, and the Korean guy. No. The Korean guy is going to take him to task, equals the amount of goals that the top scorer of Arsenal, the Korean guy.
Don't be bringing Arsenal into this shit. We got nothing to do with that.
Oh, you've got everything to do with the league.
We don't need a 20-goal score.
You have everything to do with the league.
What?
You're a big six mafia.
No, what you need to say is he has the most as Haaland, which he doesn't. But Haaland is a comparable thing. Arsenal is not. We are going to be a team of 5 or 6 12-goal scorers.
You can't really say Haaland because Ollie Watkins have almost as many goals as Haaland?
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is tearing it up with Una.
No.
Will Sheffield United get less than 11 points?
Ollie Watkins only has 4 goals.
He has 2. All competitions.
Oh, and no, we don't consider all competitions. Some teams are in more competitions than others. So let's look at Premier League goals. Haaland has 8, and he's been playing terrible. He has 8 in 7 games, and he's been having an off season.
Wally Hotkiss. That's what I say.
Right? Son has 6. Bowen has 5. Bowen is in 3rd right now. Wow. Yeah. Wang has 4. Saka has 4. Who's underperforming?
Sheffield United gonna get over the 11-point mark.
By when? By next season?
The end of the season.
Sheffield United, yeah, they'll probably beat Arsenal. Like that's what we generally do. we play very well
so
against
bad though
people, and then we lose
so
like when we're really
awful.
not supposed to.
Even the Bielsa Leeds defence didn't ship 8 in a game.
They should have given up more, to be honest.
Head and
That was
shoulders
crazy.
worse than everybody.
And come on, Tony, fucking Captain Isak for that game. And I turn around and I was at the Arsenal match. I'm over at the Tollington drinking like crazy, and they have that match going on in the background. And I'm like, it's 8 now. I made the best choice of anybody because I captained Isak. And then I look at it and he got 1 goal. Trippier had way more points because he had like 3 assists, clean.
8 different goal scorers.
Fucking
I know, that was brilliant.
What a stupid team.
Absolutely brilliant. No, a brilliant team.
I couldn't believe that one either. There was the Man City win. There was the Milan
The Aston Villa win in the beginning of the season was awesome because Aston Villa came out fucking firing against you guys, and you guys laid them down.
Yeah, but they had like 2 unexpected injuries. They lost Buendia and they lost who else?
No, but
they lost Buendia before. But then who did they lose? Who did they lose during the game?
Mings.
Yeah.
Mings.
Yeah, man.
But
oh my God, that guy.
I'm just talking about the match itself. The match itself was like back and forth for a moment, and then Newcastle shut them down. Because I know that because I picked Aston Villa in my top 4, trying to be like, fuck y'all. I'm going to pick a crazy one that if it happens, it happens. But yeah, Holland is going to underperform and only get 34 goals this season.
Is that in all competitions or just Premier League? Because if it's just Premier League, he'll be top scorer.
We're going to change your name to Spawny Mark all competitions. You know Wolves are in 1 competition, right?
And that's all they need to be in. The only competition that they need to be in is
you should be advocating
teams that beat Man City. Wolves
do it.
won.
We'll be
rest
there.
of the league, fuck all.
We'll be there. We'll be there next week in a few days. Mark, you gonna come over to the Stoop and watch it on the Stoop?
Arsenal in City?
No, Wolves and fucking whoever the fuck else they're playing.
We get Aston Villa, and it's going to be a tough one. And I think we'll put 5 in the back.
Is it at the same time? Yeah, you can come over early and we'll watch that. What's that? 16 o'clock. What the fuck is 16? In what? John put these up in Romanian times. He's like, Aston Villa play Wolves 2 hours past Dracula.
I think it's 10. I think that's 10:30. I'm not sure.
2 hours. I don't know.
2 o'clock.
16 o'clock.
It's 2
That's
o'clock.
Not 2 o'clock our time
on a Sunday. 2 o'clock our time.
I have no idea, but you know what?
Who plays at 2 o'clock? 3 o'clock. They got to be the. No,
we're the 2. It's the 2 o'clock matches because then.
How many numbers do we need to take away from this, Mark? These guys are in England. Don't let them talk to you like this. They're disrespecting your number system.
So confused. I really hate military time, which I don't even know what you guys call it.
That's 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. But that's 4 p.m. Romanian time.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Which uses like a half, a treble clef.
We are nearly 10 minutes over, and it's obvious that we do not have Director John to play us.
Oh my God, yeah.
We just lost Tony.
Please don't forget to check out Mr. Tom's programming that he brings you all week long, not just on Happy Hour. He has We All Love Leeds. The next show will be Sunday at 9 p.m. Tony says his laptop just died. His laptop just died.
Fair enough.
He also does the Fool Nelson if you're into wrestling. And that's Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. midnight.
Yeah, and even if you're into half-naked ladies, you should probably... No, Debbie Lewis, close your ears a bit. Yeah, maybe she's into half-naked ladies. Yeah, that was wrong of me for assuming. My apologies. Yeah, but you can pop along to that, and you might see something you enjoy. You might or you might not, but either way, yeah, it's a thing that exists. And we're going live tomorrow night for the live pay-per-view.
Right, and awesome. I just want to add that all you Leeds fans out there, that we are so grateful that you're watching our show. If you are not watching We All Love Leeds with Mr. Tom and Ben and whoever else he brings on the show, you're truly missing out, because I tune in. I think I've tuned in for almost every episode, and I have been thoroughly entertained, and more times than not, my wife has asked, "What are you laughing at?" Which is not her, but it is thoroughly entertaining. And please check out We All Love Leeds when and always when they have their show on. So that's my plug.
Exactly. And we do all love Leeds, especially
we even did it during 0-0 draws.
Yeah.
And Gary's show too, wherever Gary is. Yeah, watch his show too. Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, we'll be live tomorrow afternoon probably with the road trip.
Excuse me.
Where basically me and Sam Greenwood do our best to make Gary as uncomfortable as possible for 2 hours.
And big up to Rob G. Thank you for tuning into the show. He says, I'm taking my kids to breakfast at a pub at 7:30 a.m. for the Spurs match. I'm going to call it the Luton match. For the Luton match, he's going there just for Luton. He's going to walk in and say, do you have the Luton match on? And they're going to go, what the fuck? We're not open yet. Right before 7 hours of coaching
still taking Luton
at
in
a
this
tournament. With parents way too invested in youth sports. Rob, you're a saint. We understand that.
But say one more thing, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Before I want to publicly thank Bandy Fodosky for creating. He created an awesome intro for the We All Love Leeds show, but the intro he created for the wrestling show, phenomenal piece of work. Just
really.
Have you seen it? It's incredible.
All right.
I'm pretty certain I'm going to get sued by Michael Buffer at some point, but it's incredible work. It's half worth getting sued by him. I mean, he can try and I haven't got the $100,000 that it'll cost me to pay him, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, he can take finger duck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fingers have that. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week with more content for you guys. And don't forget to hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. We're all over there, and we love chatting back with you guys. So talk to us on there or on the stupidlolo.com. You can join the group on there. Much love. We will be. Oh, fuck. John does all this shit, and I forget all the things that he does. John, that's a shout out to you. If anybody wants to hang out with us backstage for a little bit, we will be backstage for a little bit, chit-chatting about bullshit. There's the link right there. You can join us there. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Much love. I hope all your teams lose except for Tom's and Mark's and mine. Peace.